What if people had power levels like in video games? Today, we're going to be taking a look at what would happen if people had power levels like in video games. Now, there are a lot of different ways this could go. So before we start, I want to talk about how exactly this is going to work. Basically, you can think of this video as me just talking for 6 minutes. But if you stick around until the end, I'll tell you guys where to find the poll so you can vote on what happens next. You can pick between 3 options, and then whichever option gets the most votes will become the next episode. So yeah, go ahead and watch the video, enjoy it, and then let your voice be heard. Also, before we start, quick reminder to like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot and it helps the channel grow. And now with that out of the way, let's begin. Alright, so for this what if, I thought it would be interesting to take a look at some real-life people and see what would happen if they were placed into a world where people had power levels like in video games. More specifically, I wanted to see what would happen if someone was placed in that world who had a power level that was too low to do anything. To set the stage, I am going to use the Dragon Ball universe as our baseline because I think it is one of the most well-known universes where characters have power levels. In Dragon Ball, the main character, Goku, is widely regarded as the strongest fighter throughout the series. At his base form, Goku has a power level of 987, which is actually a pretty high number, but the problem is that he is constantly fighting people who have much higher power levels than him. In fact, I'd say that just getting past the Saiyan Saga would be nearly impossible if Goku didn't have the ability to increase his power level by training and getting stronger. For example, when Vegeta first arrived on Earth, he had a power level of 900. That means that when he arrived, he was 8 times stronger than Goku was at his base form, which is why it only took 1 hit from him to destroy the moon. So yeah, Goku is definitely a powerhouse, but compared to some of these other villains, he's still not that strong. Hell, even when Goku fused with Vegeta to become Vegito during the Majin Buu saga, he wasn't even able to defeat Majin Buu on his own, and that is despite the fact that Vegito had a provisional power level of over 1 million. To put that into perspective, the reason why I am saying that Vegito wasn't able to defeat Majin Buu despite having a power level of over 1 million is because Majin Buu had a provisional power level of 7678891, which means that he was almost 8 times stronger than Vegito was at the time. Of course, in the end, Goku is able to defeat Majin Buu and save the day. But the point I am trying to make here is that it doesn't matter how strong you are in this universe, there is always someone who is stronger than you, and if you are constantly training and getting stronger, then sooner or later you'll be wiped out. This might seem like a weird thing to talk about, but trust me, it's relevant. Now that you have a good idea of how strong people get in the Dragon Ball universe, let's go ahead and introduce our subject. For this what if, I chose Captain Falcon, the main character from the F-Zero series. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Why did you choose such a powerful video game character? But trust me, I didn't. You see, throughout the F-Zero series, Captain Falcon has never shown any kind of superhuman abilities, strength, durability, or any other kind of power that would make him stand out. In fact, if you were to ask me to describe Captain Falcon in one word, I would easily say that he's normal. He's got average strength, average speed, average durability, etc. He's literally just an average guy. This makes him the perfect candidate to be placed in a world where people have power levels. Because while most video game characters have power levels that are off the charts, Captain Falcon is the exact opposite. If we were to measure his power level, I would honestly say that it would be below 100. Maybe he could reach a power level of 200 if he really tried, but that's about it. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that he's extremely weak. In a world where everyone has superpowers, Captain Falcon would basically be powerless. He would be the equivalent to being mute in a world full of talkers. But now that we have our subject, let's go ahead and place him in the Dragon Ball universe. We lines place him in the same situation as Goku when he first arrived on Earth after defeating Freezer. As most of you know, when Goku defeated Frieza, the news of it quickly spread throughout the universe, and soon enough all sorts of different people began arriving on Earth to either thank Goku or to try and kill him. One of these people was Lord Slug, who was a Namekian who took it upon himself to conquer as many planets as possible. And since the Earth was a planet that still had plenty of life on it, he decided to attack it. Now, to make things easier for Captain Falcon, let's assume that Slug didn't bring any of his henchmen with him. It's just gonna be a 1v1 fight. With that in mind, do you think that Captain Falcon would be able to defeat Lord Slug? To answer this question, we need to look at the difference in power between the two. According to some Dragon Ball Wiki's, Lord Slug has a power level of 60,000, which means that he's 300 times stronger than Goku is at his base form. Unfortunately for Captain Falcon, his power level is less than 100, meaning that he's at least 600 times weaker than Lord Slug is. So yeah, there's no way Captain Falcon would be able to defeat Lord Slug. The best he could hope for is to survive the fight, and even then, I'm not sure if he would be able to do that. So yeah, Captain Falcon is pretty much screwed. But hey, at least he gets a cool outfit out of the deal. Honestly though, that might be the best case scenario for Captain Falcon. Most likely, he'd probably end up being killed by Lord Slug within seconds. And once he's dead, his body would probably begin to float away into space. After all, that's what happened to the Ginyu Force when they were killed by the Super Saiyan. As his body floated through space, Captain Falcon would probably be wondering what the hell had just happened to him. One second he was racing on the Mute City Grand Prix, and the next he was floating in space with no air to breathe. I'd imagine that he would probably panic at first, but eventually he would black out and die. Unfortunately, Captain Falcon's story would end right about there. He would become nothing more than a corpse that floated aimlessly throughout the universe for eternity. But let's be honest, there's no way that he would have made it far anyway. If we introduced him into almost any world that had people with power levels, he would be one of the weakest links and he wouldn't last long. That's why I think that the Dragon Ball universe is a perfect fit for him. It doesn't matter if we're talking about the original Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball Super, there's always someone stronger waiting around the corner. I mean, it's literally part of the formula for the series. That's why I think it would be interesting if we were to do a what if where we took a really overpowered character and placed them into a world where people had power levels. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.